Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and a new episode of Focus. Today, now the Vectra is out the garage and has sparked developments for a little while, it's time to start stripping this down and getting it into a race car. Obviously, first things first, take all the interior out. I do have seat and seat rails in. Thanks to Vulcan Motorsport for sorting that out for us. I will show it at some point, probably not today because it's inside at the moment and we're going to run out of space in there pretty quickly and we'll start taking everything out from the inside. So yeah, we've got a special order harness. Look at that, nice and pink. Well, I love the pink. The story behind the pink is that obviously my wife agreed and allowed me to purchase a race car and build a race car, which I thank her very much for. But one of the conditions was I had to have some pink in it, so you will see some pink in it. It's a small consolation to having a race car for me, so to be fair I don't mind pink anyway, but there we are. So let's get to it, shall we? The plan. Right, I just want to talk to you guys about the plan for this car now. I've had it a few weeks now. We're talking to Nick and sort of deciding what direction we're going to go with it. I think I kind of ran away with myself a little bit and started pricing everything up to do what I want to do with the car. Obviously that was a huge bill and probably something not achievable for this year, so kind of decided to scale it back a bit. And I think, as I said, I want to try and get out for brands. I thought Power Live in September. So I think what I'm going to do is try and showcase in some ways what you need to go racing and how cheap you can go racing. Obviously this is not going to be cheap, but what you really need to go racing. How competitive it would be, I don't know, but it would get us out this year, and then hopefully over the winter going into next year I can do the rest of the stuff I wanted to do to build it into the car I wanted. So it's kind of like we're going to have to do the modifications we need to do to make sure the car is as reliable as it can be, and obviously all the safety stuff, but we're not going to go too mental. I'm going to keep the standard diff in it, I'm going to run the standard brakes, I may even keep the aircon in just for a laugh, just so everyone's roasting hot I can just flick it on and cool myself down, just kind of proving a point that you don't need to go flat out and diffs and plastic windows and everything just to go racing. You can go racing with less, but let's see how competitive it will be. Also, it'd be nice to do it as a sort of progression and learn from the car. If I just put everything in straight away, I'm never going to really learn what the car was like and how I've improved it. So if I can get it to a spec where we can go racing and then slowly change things, upgrading the clutch, upgrading the diff, bits and bobs, increasing the power, etc. And then we can learn from it and learn what improvements to do and what. So that's the plan for now. But today, we've just got to get the interior out. The cage is supposed to be here in a couple of weeks, so it might be next week. So yeah, let's crack on. So that's all the seats out and the boot clear. They're all over here. See if I can get into that. Well heavy actually, proper heavy. Venture 2 seats in the boot, passenger. Jacked in that spare wheel. But yeah, so next step, we start removing the trims and the belts, roof liner, and then carpet, I suppose. I do want to keep, obviously this needs to go, this bit, but I would like to keep this bit in my drinks holder, just because I think it'd be funny. Right guys, a bit of an update. Got all this crap out. The side airbag curtains, they're a nightmare. Typical Ford, I've used bits of kitchen roll behind things to kind of, I'm guessing there's an anti-vibration technique. You get what you pay for with a Ford. Let's have a look inside. So I assume it's getting messy. Cables. Yeah, so the back's all out and everything, roof liner's off. So side airbag curtains are off. There's just a washer pipe for the rear. Airbag cable, this is all the gubbins for interior lights and sensors. the alarm and stuff, and so cutting off that. Speakers out. Don't know what this is. A bag of fluff just down there, you know, because that's obviously going to do something. And of course, I like to put this crap everywhere, don't they? Not sounding up there, mate. Oh, that's rock hard. I don't think I'll bother attacking that for a while. But there we go. So we're not going for, not yet anyway, ultra light and everything else. We just want to get it racing. So yeah, so I think the next bit is attacking the centre console bit, and then we can get the carpet out. Right, so update. Centre consoles all out, and I took the carpet out. I think next step is obviously try and get these bits out. See if I can get them out without taking the dash out. So I've had a quick look. Pretty sure we're gonna have to take the dash out to get all that out. It goes right up behind and covers all sorts, so there's loads of clips and stuff that I just cannot get to the footwells, plus it all folds in behind, so I'm pretty sure I've got to take it out for the cage anyway, so let's make a start on that. Right then, some of the dash is out. When you go online it says take 3 screws out and then 4 screws, and then it's all clips. It's about 12 screws, all hidden, and then the rest was on clips. So basically, to get this carpet out, I'm taking the front bit of the dash off now, as you know. To get this carpet out, I need to remove the whole dash. To remove a whole dash, there's a metal bar that runs along there, and there's some 2 T55 screws that you have to take the doors off to get the bolts out. And then I'm sure there's loads more hidden bolts. I'll have to take the steering column out, take all the heat metrics and everything out. Pretty much everything to get the carpet out. Right guys, so that's the steering column out. Surprisingly, some things on this are quite easy, and then other things, pain in the ass. So that's that out. That solves my issue because I couldn't get the steering wheel off. Well, I could, but I'd have to put the battery and everything back on. And it looks like that had to come out anyway, because otherwise the dash won't come out. So 2 birds, 1 stone. Sort the steering wheel out later. I think now what I'm going to do, I think I roughly know what it is. I think there's a couple of bolts here. I've got to take the bolts out the side where the doors are. Unbolt this heater matrix blower bit here, I think, and that's all I can see. So what I'm going to drop Rory a message from Project Zero Racing. Obviously he's taken this dash out many times, and I'm sure he's taken quite a few out because he knows his stuff about these cars. Drop him a message, just double check, try and save me a bit of time. Always handy to have someone in the know to save you a bit of time. So I spoke to Rory, give me some tips. Don't need to take the doors off, which is nice. So you catch fiddly, but you can get them bolts for that bar undone. There's only 1 bolt each side. Loosened what I've confined in here. There's 2 bolts that aren't all the way out in this bar quite yet. I need a little fraction more, but I'll have to do that. I think when I want to fully take it out, I think I need the door shut to try and get it done with the doors on. But the right hand side was solid, wasn't moving at all. So took the what do you call that bit? Took that bit out, plastic, the wipers off. But there's 2 bolts hidden at the back there, which hold the back of the dash on. So now the driver's side at the top is now floating about, which is nice. While I was there, I took that some hose out of there, and I've taken the gas out of the aircon and unbolted the aircon from there. I'm still obviously going to have to disconnect the coolant lines, so obviously I need to drain the coolant, but I think I can get it to a point where I know that's the last thing to do, and then jack out, take the coolant out, and then I can take the dash out. So I'm just going to get in the car now, try and get those bolts as far out as I can on the bar on the side. I need to quickly release all the cables from it, all the cable ties and stuff, so that won't be holding it, and then give it a tug and see what happens. That's now everything loose. The dash is pulling out. Just seems like, I'm pretty sure it's just the coolant hoses left.
So we get it jacked up, get coolant drained out of it, and then see if we can try and disconnect the motors. Right, the battle has been won. Whoo! Go dash. And I'll tell you what, that is heavy. I'm glad now I've ripped that out because that absolutely weighs a ton. But my god. Got some remembering to do now. Right, that's gonna be it for me for today. I'm sure we'll be straight in a clip with me ripping the rest of it out in a second. The carpet is out. Result. Right guys, we're back working on the Focus. Not sure we got to the last little clip because it's been a little while. But I've got a special delivery. Let's open up the old van. Here we go. Woo! The roll cage has arrived. Currently caging up the van. So yeah, so I need to get that in there, obviously. First things first, I need to jack it up, take the wheels off, take the arch liners out, because when we weld the back bit in, the hook, I need to, obviously when we're welding, it can generate fire. So I need to be able to see all the bits that we're welding to make sure that nothing's going to set ablaze, because we don't want to burn it down, do we? Got some other bits. Thank you to Kill Wipers. Got a nice little Kill Wipers kit to go in to fill this hole in the back where the wiper's been removed. I won't unpackage it with some hose tails there, some blanking plates, obviously where we've removed the heater matrix now. We've got two pipes obviously that run to it, we need to blank off. Spoke to Rory, obviously because he knows a lot about these cars, and he said yeah, just blank them off as easy as route. Can buy bung for the block, but I've got some blank for the pipe anyway, so we'll see how that goes. If I need to buy the bung or blanking bung thing for the block, then I will, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, obviously the car's all stripped out, ready to put the cage in. Also I need to tidy stuff up. There's still some other bits I need to remove, so I'm going to have to clean all this out before we start welding stuff in. Right then, let's air up in the air, wheels are off. We're all looking there, yeah, standard Ford, usual rusty corrosion stuff. Some big old wheel spacers on the back. Don't know if we'll be keeping them with the wheels we're putting on, probably have to take them off. We'll be lucky if the wheels fit in the front. Otherwise you're going to have to buy new wings. Arch liners are now out. Nothing too scary behind them. It's a Ford. There's a little bit of surface rust on that little bit there, so I'll probably tuck that up. The rest of it all seems good, so now keep an eye on the bits we need to keep an eye on. But yeah, let's start unpackaging that lot and see what footplates we got, bits and bobs and all the rest of it, and see what I can get in there. And you know, ideally I want to try and get it in there bolted up, so I can know exactly where it's going to be, mark out the area it's going to weld, and then I can clean it all up with the grinder. And taking all the protective bits off the ends of the cage, and kind of roughly got it in. It's kind of sort of in its position, but it's obviously giving me an indication of like all the cables and stuff that I need to move. As I say, but I know the areas I need to clean up, so it's all clean. I can bolt it in roughly, and then tap the plates and stuff in place, and then remove the cage, and then start welding. Yeah, easy kit. I mean, guys, if you're ever looking to do a safety devices cage, I mean, you obviously got to know a few bits, but they're not too bad to get in. So I've fitted some before in the KAs and stuff, so this one seems pretty a bit easier than the KA one, to be fair. Another quick update I almost forgot about is Rory and Mac Lewis Motorsport hooked me up with all the parts, head gaskets, manifold gaskets, wheel gaskets and stuff to do the block mod kit. Where is it? All that for 4 little shims there. New cannon belt, tensioner, the lot. So we can do that. We're just doing that for some extra safety, because these cars are prone for cracking the liners, so obviously we're going to put it under a lot of stress. It's not just going to be the blast up and down here, up and down some roads, so it's going to be full chat around the circuit for however long, a long time, so might as well do that while we're here. So Jay hopefully will be coming around soon, help me start getting the head and everything off. We're going to send the head off to get skimmed, and then we'll put it all back together. And then yeah, some extra safety. That won't gain us any power whatsoever, but just a bit more, hopefully, reliability. Right guys, so I've tied out the back and given myself some space. I've moved the cable and all that good stuff. I've put the cable roughly in, just to get an area that I need to clean. Obviously the back part of the cage is still in because it's a bigger lump and I haven't really got anywhere to put it at the minute. Obviously I've marked around the feet. So I'll clean them areas up and then put the cage fully in, bolted in-ish. So I know exactly where it fits, where to weld it, and then I'll tack the foot plates in, remove the cage back out, fully weld it, paint it, all that good stuff, and then bolt it back in. That's the plan. Sounds easy, probably take me a while. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, sorry, I got a bit carried away I think. So I've cleaned all the areas up where all the mounts are going, and I've started putting the cage in. Obviously I'm just going to bolt it in loosely, and then tack the rear plates on so I know where it's going, and I'll take it all back out, weld them solid, put it back in, put the foot plates where they need to go on, the weight spreading plates, tack them in, take the cage back out. So yeah, so we've got all them areas cleaned up, wasn't too bad to be fair. Cage all temporary bolted in. Drilled the holes for the rear part of the case, go into the wheel arch, and then put the spreader plates on front that need to be welded in. Just done a bit of movement in it, but yeah, so I've got a strap back there holding it over to one side. Obviously these kits are universal and every car is not exactly the same, so you do have to move them about a bit to get them to fit. Obviously this, I'm going to have to just tack the plates in, and then when it all bolts down, it'll all be solid and in place. So what I need to do now is just tack all the foot plates in, and then the glorious task of taking the cage back out, which is great fun because it's fun to get in, let alone to get back out again, and then to put back in again. Obviously got the overs on, so we're going to start tacking them in now. Right then, so we've got all the corner bits now tacked in. As I said, we now just need to move the cage out so I can weld it all in. Right guys, so I've now finished welding in all the foot plates and that for the cage. Lovely jubbly. I've trimmed the dash down where I believe it needs trimming for the cage. Now looking at it when I had the cage roughly bolted in, there's no way I'm going to get that dash in with the cage in, so I'm going to have to put the back half of the dash back in first and fit the cage and stuff. I'm just going to seal those with a bit of seam sealer around just to protect the welds and that around those foot plates. I've got some paint arriving tomorrow, so I can paint them tomorrow. But yeah, I might as well just crack on and see if I can get this dash back in. Now obviously gonna have to start remembering somewhere where the wires go. But I do apologise guys, I got a bit carried away. I'm not too sure where we got to in the last bit because I'm on a different day now. But all the foot plates are done, all welded in, sealed in, painted up, lovely jubbly, and we're just going to start putting the cage back in. Put the front part of the dash back in. Fairly easy when you know what you're doing, putting it back together. Cabling wise, we'll see if I got that stuff in the right place. I thought it would be quite simple and I'd remember. I mean, I took the photos, but when you look back at photos, it's actually quite difficult to understand what's going on. Should have labelled stuff really, but hey ho, never mind. So crack on, so we get this cage in today. I have trimmed this part of the dash already, because I was at Brands a couple of weeks back. I looked at a Focus Cup car. I have very similar cages and very similar setup. That's roughly what I cut. I may have to cut a bit more here, but until I sort of start getting the cage in, I'm not really going to know. I mean, it's going to be quite difficult, I think, to get the cage in with the back part of the dash anyway, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But there was no way I was going to get that part of the dash in with the cage in. It just was never going to work, so wish me luck. Let's see how we get on. Right everyone, so update. The cage is now fully in. So fully in, I've just got to tighten those bolts up, go into the rear arches, but unfortunately my arms are not long enough for that. So yeah, cage fully in. Didn't go too bad. There's some extra trimming of the dash required to get it in. You have to drill your own holes here for these bolts, which is fun. It's a bit tighter going in than the last time, but I haven't taken the wrapping off that bit. Damn. I don't know what's it. So yeah, the cage is now in. Woo. So yeah, just got the task of figuring out all the wiring again, and then getting the rest of the dash back in, and hopefully seat base plate should be here soon, so I can start mocking that up and then put the harness anchors in and go from there. So yeah, sweet. But yeah, the cage is in, that's the main point. I think that's about it for this episode, guys. So make sure you keep up to date with everything we get up to by subscribing below, hit that like button, hit the follow button, all that good stuff. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.